What's up, everybody? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, December 14th, 2018. If you're a replay viewer, welcome to the video. I just want to throw this out there. If you don't want to hear me rant for a little bit and talk about Bitcoin and talk about my business and my experience with big banks and businesses trying to take control of my money, maybe this video is not for you. However, I will throw this out there. At some point in this live stream, I will get to the charts that you see on the screen. So you can see below in the comment section some timestamps. And if you want to go right to the charts after my rant is over, after I go through some Twitter posts, some articles, if you want to go to the charts and kind of get a sense of what I'm tracking and from a technical analysis perspective, please feel free to see the pinned comment below. But man, I'm here. I wasn't even planning on doing a live stream until this crazy situation just happened, and I feel like I need to vent. I need to vent to everybody in the crypto world because it's so applicable to why we're here. I turned down my mic volume a little bit, so if everybody just lets me know if it sounds okay, I would be very much appreciative. Rahul Puar caught a live stream. Happy belated birthday. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Actually going out tonight for my birthday. Drew Blood's here. Jim Flanagan is here. Steven Herzog. What's up, everybody? Hey, guys. My pals. My good pals. Cool. So, sounds good. Yeah. I'm going to give it just a minute just to get some people in here. Some people are still coming in, but I got to tell you, everybody, oh my goodness, I can't. If you run a business, you know, there are, besides running the business, there are hurdles every day that sometimes just become like infuriating. Today was one of those days, one thing after the other. But let me tell you, I just tweeted QuickBooks. First off, let me tell the story here. One of my clients, a crypto client, believe it or not, I'm not even going to get into that. I decided to utilize QuickBooks for invoices when my clients want to pay with USD. So I got QuickBooks last week. I sent out an invoice last week. I was actually on the plane when I sent the invoice. And here's my tweet. QuickBooks has put a huge hold on my funds. Started by saying that it will be a 90-day hold. They needed so much information from me. They're interrogating me on the phone about my recruiting business. I'm thinking because it's Crypto Capital Venture, right? It's cryptocurrency related. That must have thrown up a flag. And they're interrogating me on the phone. And I said, you know what? Cancel. By the way, it's a big chunk of money, right? If you're familiar with the recruiting space, like you make a placement, it's a nice size invoice, right? Like I think most people know that. So the guy says, provide all this stuff to me. And I'm like, you know what? Just cancel QuickBooks, send the money back to my clients, and I'll invoice them in another way. So the guy proceeds to tell me, well, they paid with a ACH, like an e-check. So we're not able to refund the money back to the client. So at this point on the phone, I flipped out. Like they're telling me this is a big sum of money. They're not able to just cancel the transaction, refund it to my clients, and they're also not able to release it to me. I'm flipping out on the phone, by the way, and I don't flip out easily, but I'm literally just like trying to paint the picture to this person who's just doing their job, how stupid this sounds. Like I'm a recruiter running a recruiting business, and he's trying to sell me on the fact that they don't work with high-risk businesses because I guess it's Crypto Capital Venture, and I help cryptocurrency startups in recruiting their talent. So anyway, I tweeted, they put a huge hold, started by saying 90 days. I'm disgusted and tired of banks and businesses having control of my money. I'm thankful Bitcoin and Litecoin are so cheap. More to leverage, more to control. the perfect example of this is when Bitcoin went to $20,000. Many people getting into the space at that time, not familiar even with what cryptocurrency is, right? And if you're one of those people, that's fine, right? I'm glad you got into the space, but there's more to it than just making money here. And many people, when Bitcoin's like around $20,000, were hoping for Bitcoin to go back down so that they could get more of it, right? And maybe they wanted more Bitcoin because they wanted to get it cheaper so that when it goes up again, they can make money. And that's fine. That's fair. But there's another extremely valuable thought to that whole situation, which is now that Bitcoin has come back down, it doesn't only create for itself a huge opportunity to make money, right? To accumulate wealth, but it creates for you out there to accumulate more of this thing called Bitcoin, more of this decentralized currency. And as you accumulate more of this thing, you're literally taking control away from the people that have control. Because, and maybe I needed the reminder today. I think I needed the reminder to realize how little control that we have. Sarah was in the other room. I'm flipping out in here in the office. QuickBooks is telling me that they're going to just hold my money for up to 90 days. A lot of money. It's my money that I work extremely hard for, right? My client doesn't have the money anymore. I don't have the money, but for some reason, QuickBooks, they get to basically control my money. And to me, I don't know if this is extreme, but to me that's theft, right? Like if someone takes something from you and they're just like, I'm going to hold it for 90 days. I'm going to basically be like, you're stealing from me then. You're stealing from me. So there's a possibility this can get resolved within the next week. I'm giving it until the next week. If it doesn't get resolved, I'm gonna flip out, and you'll probably see it on Twitter. You can see I didn't at QuickBooks, but like I'm gonna go hardcore. I'm gonna go hardcore if they decide that if I don't get this money within a week. The fact that I even have to wait this long is ridiculous. I invoiced last week on the plane. I still don't have my money. I think XGC Noble HD says lawyer time. I told Sarah the same thing when I was on hold with these people. Like, really, lawyer time. It's just stupid. At this point, it's stupid. It's stupid how much control we give people. And like, I'm stupid. I really am. There are other avenues at this point. We have so many tools, and I'm going to honestly push harder. I'm going to push harder to invoice all of my placements in cryptocurrency. They're cryptocurrency companies, so hopefully they'll be cool with that. If not, I'll roll with it. I'll go with it. But hopefully they're cool with it, because like this is what we're pushing for, to get this control, taking back control. So that's like my little rant right now. And what's so interesting is how we're talking about money, right? Like, but this goes outside of money. And this is, again, why I'm very disappointed in myself, which is to say, I've given way too much control, not only with money in this situation, I've given away too much control with my data. And it's probably laziness, right? Not following certain protocols. I've given too much information away. So we're talking data now. We're talking not only just the cryptocurrency aspect of the blockchain, but now we're talking the data aspect of the blockchain. So the data aspect of the blockchain, and I'll give you a good example. Right now, I'm working with a cryptocurrency startup that is they're health related, a health data, privacy health data platform. And it's really all about taking your health data, which is a huge, huge issue, taking your health data and putting it on a blockchain where you have control of it, right? So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with taking your money and having control of it in a decentralized environment where people, businesses, companies, banks, whoever, they don't have control of it, because all we are to all these companies is a dollar sign. That's it. That's all we are. And this space that we're in now, right, this technology, it really allows us to step outside of that, take control. Like look at this article. Google, and you might have heard this, right? This isn't like brand new news. Google leak reveals secret China plans for censored search engine, prompting protests from employees. Google is secretly planning to launch a censored version of its search engine in China within the next year, a leaked transcript seems to reveal. The platform would blacklist words and phrases like human rights, Nobel Prize, student protest, in order to conform with China's strict censorship laws. Like, this is Google, right? I got to this article because of Google. Like, I'm logged into probably, I don't know how many Google accounts, right? By complying with Google's censorship rules in order to have the block lifted, the letter signed by Google employees states that it raises urgent moral and ethical issues. Do you think, like, our data to Google is just dollar signs, and they could care less with the privacy of that data? They'll give up that data in a heartbeat, and that's what they're doing. They're giving up our data. It's not private. Our data is not safe with Google. It's not. And it's just another example of why we need blockchain, cryptocurrency, for so many different reasons. Tech Lord says 5 weeks left before the next bull run. Tech Lords, I want to know why, man. I want to know why you think that. Should get you on this show so you can do some technical analysis for us. That would be sweet. So anybody just joining, I'll end my rant here, but I'll just remind you what I was ranting about. QuickBooks put a huge hold on my funds. They started by saying it could be up to a 90-day hold. And then I ranted about how I'm sick of banks and big businesses having control of my money. And yes, I feel like an idiot. I feel like an idiot because at the end of the day, who gives control, right? And look, like, this is the bank. This is our new bank. Here's a cool wallet. I have a couple cool wallet. They're not even opened. But I have a couple. And actually, I tweeted that the other day because this is important. Like, this plays into kind of what we're talking about. I tweeted this yesterday. I was really surprised by, like, some of the comments. Not in a bad way. I said, once you get your cryptocurrency, put it on a hard wallet. Major exchanges like Coinbase are proving themselves to be no different than banks with your currency. Again, if you're leaving your cryptocurrency, whatever it is, on an exchange, guess what? You do not have full control of it. So definitely go pick up a cool wallet. Go pick up a Ledger Nano. And if you don't know how to do this, right? It's very easy. It really is. And you can go to Twitter and get help with people. Help from people. But yeah, there were some comments on here that said, I don't even know what a hard wallet is. I don't know how to do that. So I posted a link to this interview I did with Michael, the CEO of CoolBitX, who makes the Cool Wallet S, right? Go check it out. Like, it really just walks through the simple process of how it works and how to get your crypto on the wallet. And it's actually, I mean, it's pretty cool. I should have opened it. I should have opened this before I did this video. But I've had these laying around. My crypto is in a very hidden place that nobody in the world could ever find on my Ledger Nano. But I'll use these. So anyway, yes, go get your hard wallet. Seriously, it's important. So kind of pivoting back into like the normal swing of things. OU2 says, how do you like that wallet, Dan? I haven't opened the Cool Wallet S yet, but after Michael kind of gave me a demo in our interview, I love it. I think it's sick. I think it's very cool. So I tweeted, what was this, 2 days ago? I've been covering Bitcoin a lot lately. I miss Litecoin. I do miss Litecoin. So I wanted to cover Litecoin a little bit alongside Bitcoin today. So to really start covering Litecoin, check it out. Look at this. Look at this. That really is ugly. I think it was Litecoin Moses the other day. I think it was him tweeted like how bad or ugly or something it looks on CoinMarketCap when you go and you see these 2 Bitcoin Cash. But look at Litecoin right in the middle. So close. It's unbelievable. It's not unbelievable. I think most of us knew that this was going to happen. We've been tracking the Flappening. We've been tracking it, but look at it right now. 97%. 97% Flappening. So Rob says, official Litecoin Lotto. Have we officially flappened? We haven't officially, but it's going to be cool when we do, right? We're almost there. Almost there, says Steven. So there it is. That's Litecoin. We'll check out the charts in a bit along with Bitcoin. But yeah, I mean, I've been covering Bitcoin just because if you want to get a sense of what Litecoin's doing, you really got to track Bitcoin. You really got to watch Bitcoin. I want to dig deeper into Tech Lord's comments about 5 weeks until the bottom. I'm really curious about that. 5 weeks until the bull market, I think he said. I love other people's perspectives. I think it's going to be longer than 5 weeks, but I would love to be wrong. So I tweeted this. This was like the end of November, and I just want to throw this reminder out there. Until we have multiple confirmations of a bull market, I'll continue technical analysis with bearish context. It's not because I'm bearish. It's because I want to be prepared to get as much cheap Bitcoin and Litecoin as possible. I also don't think it's bull season yet. So that just plays right on my tweet earlier, talking about take control, take this opportunity, right, to accumulate. The more cryptocurrency you own, the more control you will have in the long run. There is a shift happening. I promise you, there is a shift happening. QuickBooks and what they did today, they've been doing this for a long time, but now they're getting to this point, they're getting squeezed. And maybe they're not feeling it yet, but I promise you, they're going to feel it. They can't do this anymore. They're not going to be able to do this anymore. Not with cryptocurrency in play now. And more businesses are going to realize this. More and more businesses are going to begin to take control of their money again. Like they're going to just have full control, right? They're going to get paid instantly. It's going to happen. 90-day hold? Are you kidding me? Like, come on. I even told him on the phone, I'm like, I'm not like this huge, massive firm, right? I'm a smaller firm, like we're just running a business. A 90-day hold on a placement. Like QuickBooks, anybody operating with this method of just putting money on hold, they're going to pay for that soon. And what I mean by that is they're going to lose customers, they're going to lose money because cryptocurrency is here. So take this opportunity. This isn't financial advice, but this is an opportunity to leverage this. These cheap prices are an opportunity to accumulate, and Litecoin is a big part of that for me as well. I know I don't talk about it as much as I did originally on this channel, but I promise you, Litecoin is a big part of that for many, many reasons. So before we get in the charts, here's this last little tweet. The bears, I can't even spell. The bears get high on parabolic losses, just like the bulls get high on parabolic gains. Cycles, patience, the shift is coming. Tech Lord says the shift is coming in 5 weeks. Hey, official Litecoin Lotto is a moderator. I didn't even know it. I thought you were a moderator already, Rob. So there it is. Cycles, everybody. Cycles. Patience, patience, patience. Where's my little, wow, this chart is out of control. All right. Halving, 1 year later, all-time high capitulation. Everybody knows that. We've been covering that a lot. But here's a zoomed out charts. I'm going to, just because like Tech Lords gave us something to talk about in this video, right? We are December, we're in mid-December. So mid-January plus a week. So we're like right around here, right around there where I just drew that line is where Tech Lords has a bull market target. Tech Lords, I'm calling you out, baby. I want to see your charts, man. I want to see what you're talking about. Poseidon Lou, $9.99 super chat. Poseidon Lou sending me some of that fiat that I just talked so much trash on. Poseidon Lou, thank you, man. Dude, I miss you. I miss you, Lou. Appreciate the super chat, dude. I can't believe that buys like half a Litecoin at this point. Never thought we'd be here. So there's Tech Lords' target for bull market to ensue. I did want to, I'm going to get into the daily chart, but we can zoom out real quick one more time. On the daily. This is going back to the last bear market. I'm not going to talk too much about this right now, but for context for further into the video, this 50 EMA, this 200 EMA to that overextension, if you all remember, is around 60% to that bottom. That's a big target for us that we've been watching. It's a big data point that we've been watching in terms of Bitcoin finding its bottom. Asad Harari with the $9.99 super. I just earned a Litecoin, everybody, between the two. LTC flap, Bcash tonight, max tomorrow. He's calling it. Asad Harari is calling it. Thank you so much for the super chat, dude. I appreciate you, man. I love seeing you on the channel. Poseidon Lou, Ethan Alpert, $2 super chat. Ethan, thank you, man. I truly appreciate the super chats. I feel like that name, I don't know if I recognize that name, but if you're new here, I appreciate it. But either way, you're the man. Thank you. He says backed launch 124. The back launch ETF launches, I'd be surprised if we get anything launched in the first quarter of 2019. But I appreciate you guys super chatting. Black Entrepreneur 24. How much money should I invest in Bitcoin as a beginner? I definitely can't tell you that. The best thing I can tell you is don't invest more than you can afford to lose. I have my own opinions on accumulating. Everybody knows that. I'm very big on accumulating. I think it's a good idea at these prices is very good. Crypto Contemplation says bottom is 3K. Interesting you say that because we're going to talk about that in this video. The $3,000 area is a really interesting area. So, so here's zoomed out. We have this 60%. I might as well just put it really, really quick on the screen. 60% over extension. You see that 200 EMA line right down to that bottom is 60%. And I should zoom in just a little. Right? So there's that bottom 2015 of January. What's crazy is not only the harmony of how Bitcoin has moved with the charts today, but look at even the time frame. Like we're pretty close to January. We're a month away from that bottom. See you, Steven. I believe Steven is leaving. Have a good one, man. So let's pivot over. I wanted to bring up this chart just to get a glimpse because we never do it on this channel. So before we have this chart, this is the logarithmic scale, right? It gives us a clear visualization of Bitcoin in the long term, because these parabolic moves right here, right? They're hard to see on a regular scale. And here you go, right? So like you see the difference. Here's regular, here's log. So look at this whole area back here leading up into 2017 on Logarithmic. Now look at here. So when we have data points that are just parabolic, like right here, it becomes difficult on this type of scale to track, to talk about in a technical manner. So that's why we use Logarithmic. It helps us to track the movements. It helps us to track percentages, gains, losses, because otherwise this chart would be very annoying. This chart would be extremely annoying to compare, 2017, 2018 with 2014, 2015. That's why we use Logarithmic. And I just wanted to throw it out there because I know a lot of people ask that question. A lot of people say you can't do technical analysis with Logarithmic, and it makes zero sense to me that some people think that. So pivoting over now to Litecoin, I just want to give you a sense of Litecoin zoomed out on the daily. It also, although looking different than Bitcoin, right, zoomed out on the daily, it has its own little harmony happening. And you can see right now Litecoin to the bottom of this trend line, the best trend line we can have is around 50% from the bottom, right? There's definitely room for a downside. I remember when we're trading over 100, like $150, looking at this same chart and being like, man, there's a possibility Litecoin could go down to $12. I also remember saying that will not happen. I don't think that would happen. And we're not too far off. So I just want to give you some perspective on what Litecoin looks like zoomed out, because we cover Bitcoin a lot. But look at the harmony. Look at the synergy between the charts. So let's go over to Litecoin on the log, that was the log scale. Now let's go to Litecoin, not log. Check it out. Can't even begin to look at the charts and compare the two. Nelson Winter, $10 super chat. Dude, Nelson, thank you. Appreciate that. God bless you, man. It means a lot. Just your support for the channel, support for just the videos that we do, support through these tough times, these very tough times. Although these might prove to be the most valuable and biggest opportunity that any of us could have right now. So let's talk about it. So we look at Bitcoin on the daily zoomed out, Litecoin on the daily zoomed out, but like, what does that mean in terms of where we are now? Here's the daily. Here is this symmetrical triangle that we've talked a lot about, and we were talking a lot about it back in September, end of summer into fall, and we were tracking this symmetrical triangle. Just because I think the move that Bitcoin was making as we're hovering above $6,000, I think this was the most consistent type of formation to track. In my opinion, there's a ton of shorter term or even longer term patterns you can track, right? You can do that if you want to do that. But this is one we've talked about a lot on this channel. So we're going to continue talking about it, just because if you see, we have the breakout target right here, which is the height of the symmetrical triangle. And you can see the height of that is, it's right around $3,000 to $3,100. So somebody in the chat said 3,000 is the bottom. It plays in very well with this, mid to, I don't want to call it long range, but this does go back to around April formation, the symmetrical triangle. So that target plays in very well. We've seen targets hit over and over on the shorter term timeframes. On 4 hours, we see falling wedges hit their targets on the upside. We've seen symmetrical triangles on the 4 hour on the shorter term targets hit their targets. So when it comes to these formations, it's completely in play. I think it's substantiated. I think it's good to use formations to anticipate certain things happening. So in terms of certain things, what I'm talking about is a potential bounce off of support. This $3,000 to $3,100 area is definitely a good area to look at. However, I do want to zoom in a little bit on this chart to say if that $3,000 area, and if that $3,000 area doesn't play out, and this is my favorite type of technical analysis. We have this longer term triangle you see, right, that we fell out of, and we're aiming for our target here, which is the height of that triangle around $3,100, maybe a little bit lower. What I like is when Bitcoin is falling into another pattern, right, that plays into that story so that we can track this $3,000 support. So what I mean by that is, let's take a horizontal line to the bottom, and you can see there's confluent areas, and I like when there's confluence within the charts. And what I mean by confluence is right here we have this target area for this breakout on the longer term symmetrical triangle, and then we have the actual bottom of this wedge that has been forming, this falling wedge that has been forming for Bitcoin, right? This is confluence, this area. And there's some kid outside playing or screaming or doing something. It's driving me nuts. So this area right now, this 3,000, I would say like $3,070 to $3,100 is a really good area to watch for right now, a potential bounce. And the other day I talked about a potential bounce to, I believe it was the $4,200 area. So it's kind of what I'm anticipating, right? However, I want to throw this out there. If we don't get a bounce there, the downside target out of this wedge is, again, the height of this wedge right here to around $2,300. So the question is, well, what are you doing, Dan? I'll tell you what I'm doing. There's two things to what I'm doing right now. Now that we're in this, we're in this $3,000 to $5,000 range that I've talked about for months before we got there. See you, tech lords. Let me see those charts soon, dude. Now that we're in this bottom range that we've anticipated, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I've been accumulating, right? And I do it, spontaneously sometimes. I just feel comfortable in this range. Even if we go lower, I'll buy more. But in the long term, since I'm long on Bitcoin, I think these prices right now are really solid prices. I do. And that's with full knowledge that we can go lower. We could go to $1,500. I get it, right? But this is my approach to the market. That's why I'm doing these videos, to share it with you. So on the downside, a nice comfortable additional accumulation target would be the breakout area here, right? $2,300. And I say that because if we do break below this wedge, I could see $2,300 acting as support. Many of you have been following this channel know when I accumulate, I love accumulating at support areas. I love accumulating on bounces, right? So like there's a good possibility if we did break this wedge, we'll see support around $2,300. It's a great accumulation area, especially if you're a trader. Great accumulation area for a possible bounce, at least to the top of the wedge, to $2,900, right? And it's not like, as Bitcoin gets cheaper, you see these swings, can quickly become 25% swings, right? So if you're a trader, this isn't financial advice, but it gives you a good sense of why it's obviously better to buy the dips. That's what we've always talked about on this channel. R Rafterman, $2 super chat. Thank you. Thank you, R Rafterman, for your super chat. It's much appreciated. He says, enjoyed this channel a few weeks. Thanks. Keep DCA. Dude, thank you so much for the super chat, your support, just the comment in general. It means a lot to me. It's tough times these days, right? Bitcoin's down. It's not like we're in a bull market. We've been doing this channel in this bear market the whole time. And dude, like, where are the bulls? Let's have some fun, right? Let's have some fun with the channel. Yeah, I saw Rob, he said, Dan's on edge because of QuickBooks. I am on edge because of QuickBooks. 90-day hold on my money. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you, buddy, take control of your money, especially if you're running a business. It's just, at this point, it's just ridiculous. Crypto Revan says, hit the like, peeps. Agreed. If you're out there, hit that like button. I ask for nothing more, really. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're getting any value from this video. So, yes, that's pretty much it. I'm really right now, I'm not really digging into the 4 hour right now, but I really just wanted to cover this range because we've talked about this triangle before we even actually broke to the bottom of it, right? So we were talking about this triangle as it consolidated and squeezed, and we were hoping for a break to the upside. Obviously, that didn't happen. But as we get close to the target of this downside right here in the $3,100 area, that's what I'm looking at. And then along with that, I'm looking at this bottom of this wedge, falling wedge that Bitcoin is in right now in the daily charts. It's something to look at. It's something valuable if you like it, if you enjoy watching the charts, if you enjoy seeing what's going on. So that's pretty much it. Litecoin kind of doing its thing. And actually, I want to go back to Bitcoin because I did want to cover, I did want to throw this out there, which is to say at the beginning of this video or this technical analysis, we talked about the 50% overextension from the 200 EMA. So let's take the 200 EMA and let's take, or not 50%, 60%, 60% overextension right around $2,500, right? So that's another number we talked about in these videos. I'd be, I said I'd be surprised if we got under a $50 Litecoin. So I shouldn't be surprised if we get more than 60% overextension on Bitcoin. I know it's possible, right? I know that some crazy mass capitulation could happen. I know we could be in a drawn out bear market as many big time investors try to accumulate some cheap Bitcoin. But I would be surprised if we go under $2,500. So that's just another thing to watch out for as we kind of look at these really, I mean, this whole range right here is a really interesting range of supports to watch. And when you have an interesting range of support to watch, if you begin seeing support there, it could be a good area to more comfortably accumulate. So that support range is the $3,100 down to this bottom, the falling wedge breakout of around $2,300. And then right in there, we have that 60% overextension. So the most beautiful technical thing that could happen for Bitcoin, in my opinion, would be for Bitcoin to essentially, on the downside, by the way, break the bottom of this wedge, right? Approach its breakout targets of around $2,400, maybe a nice little wick down to the $2,400 area, and then just really strong support at $2,500 at that 60% overextension from the 200 EMA. I think that would be a beautiful, beautiful thing for Bitcoin if we saw that, and that could be a potential bottom for Bitcoin. I just want to throw that out there. I'm not predicting that's the bottom, but it could be a very strong bottom, and then from there we could really have some sideways trading for a while, right? You never know. Very similar to zoom out. Very similar to the bottom of the last bear market right here. That's a pretty long bottom. It's like 5 or 6 months, but time will tell and we will see. I appreciate all of you letting me vent about this. QuickBooks putting a huge hold on my funds. If you didn't see that part, I talked about it. I complained about it. I called myself an idiot for it because I do feel like an idiot giving control away of this amount of money and just trusting a company like QuickBooks is going to do what they do and send me my money. That didn't happen. And now I'm fighting. I'm fighting for my money. I know some of you are on the chat asking, I use TradingView for my charts. I use OBS to stream live. OBS is the software I use to stream live, and I do have a green screen. And I got a microphone. That's pretty much my setup. So I know a lot of you are asking about Ethereum. Rob just said Ethereum stinks. But I have to say, Ethereum's looking pretty crazy. Look at these charts. I have to do some technical analysis on Ethereum. I have a little Ethereum. I bought some not too long ago, and I think I'm going to begin accumulating some Ethereum as we maybe find a little bit more support in the markets. I would love to see one more big capitulation or one more big move down, a fearful day, a 20-25% day. And I don't say that meaning I want it to happen, but I'd feel way more comfortable accumulating something like Ethereum if that happened. So those are my thoughts. But yeah, maybe I really do want to do some TA on Ethereum, just because I know a lot of people track it. Whether you like it or not, it has a good amount of force in the markets. It has a good amount of influence in the markets, and I see it just with the startups that I work with. So Ethereum, in my opinion, obviously the price is like down like crazy, is not down forever. But let's just see, what was that? 94%, right? What's Litecoin down? Let's see what Litecoin is down. I'm gonna do the top of that candle. I don't care. Look at that, 94%. Can't really talk trash on Ethereum being any worse than Litecoin, because, well, you just saw. Let's update the Flappening page. 98%. All right, everybody. Cameron S. Have my hodl bag. Sold a few LTC. Trying to acquire more if the market falls. Appreciate the vids. Any thoughts on January 3rd, Proof of Keys Day? I actually don't have too many thoughts. I know John Moore, I think he just tweeted about that the other day. But I should cover that story, shouldn't I? Give you my thoughts on the Proof of Keys Day. Cameron, I appreciate your super chat so much. I definitely recognize your name. Yes, music to my ears, Dan. ETC does, though. This is me trying to catch up with the chat. Bra says you should sue them. When I was on call with QuickBooks, I literally told Sarah I'm gonna have to sue these people. Like, they're tying, like, the amount of money that they're tying up is like disgusting. So anyway, everybody, appreciate everybody coming by. I really need to sign off and get ready for going out tonight for my birthday. Capitulation has been over for a long time. What's currently happening proves to me that we are entering depression stage. Interesting point. So everybody, appreciate you. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Again, take control of your money, please. Whether that's accumulating, whether that's storing your money in a hard wallet. Like I said, I definitely suggest Cool Wallet S, Ledger Nano. Get yourself a hard wallet, put it away. And be careful with these big banks, and be careful with these businesses. Be careful with who you give your control over to. Be careful with who you give your data over to. It's time that I start, living what I'm preaching a little bit more. And maybe I wouldn't find myself in situations like this where QuickBooks takes 90-day holds on my money that I worked hard for. It's theft, in my opinion. So appreciate all of you. I really do. It's been fun venting. I don't vent a lot. I don't complain a lot, but I just really wanted to get that out. I thought it was applicable to the world we live in, to what's going on in this space. But I hope everybody has an amazing night. I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. Be careful out there. Don't spend more than you can afford to lose. As the markets update, we will certainly, obviously, do videos. Hopefully get a video out tomorrow. Moderators, appreciate you guys helping me out on this channel. All of you super chatters, I love you all. Subscribers, I love you. And even if you're not a subscriber, even if you thumb down this video, guess what? I love you too. I hope everybody has a great night. I'll see you in the next video, and God bless.